Welcome back to EarthX 2025. I'm Lawrence Ford with the Conscious Capital Foundation. And I am going to just say, Chauncey, introduce yourself.
So I am Chonnie Richey, and I am the founder of Independence Gardens and Girls Save the World.
Chonnie Richey.
Yes.
And you are what?
I am the founder of Independence Gardens and Girls Save the World.
And so a couple days ago, with your girls who are saving the world,
Yes.
I was so blessed to be able to interview, and everybody, this isn't an option. Turn off your TVs and go watch that interview. You're going to hear about it today. Yeah. You have to watch the interview. I am telling you, not only myself, but the people in the room, everybody was crying.
I know.
They were crying out of emotion.
Scott Page was crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It was amazing.
It was great.
17-year-old women.
Yep.
And I stood there and interviewed them, and I was in awe. And then I was in emotion, and I had tears, and I looked out, and everybody else did too.
Which is great.
So good thing you're not doing anything important in the world, huh?
No, nothing at all. Just something small. Small.
Tell us about Girls Save the World.
So Girls Save the World is an Independence Gardens program, and Independence Gardens is a nonprofit where we provide fresh food access to kids in schools and communities.
So it starts with providing
fresh food access for elementary schools, actually.
Okay. And so, regionally, where?
Nationally. So our overall goal is to be in 65,000 elementary schools in the country. Okay. And why we do that is because schools are the heart of communities, and if we just get those kids connecting and planting those fresh food, then we're automatically feeding communities. So there should never be a question where kids understand where fresh food comes from, ever. And so we want to take a bite out of food deserts and take the conversation out where we don't know where apples come from, or we don't know where food comes from.
Yeah.
I talked about this last year that
it's terrible.
It's terrible, and the world population is set to increase 9.7 billion. Water is decreasing, and so we're starting to teach these kids the value of sustainable food access and what that looks like. So it really starts with that.
So let's talk about that for a second, and I'll tell you a funny, really goofy thing I do sometimes when I'm speaking, because I go to conferences like this sometimes. People tend to get pretty uptight about being perfect, and like, you know, it's like almost like a religion, this, you know, environmental stuff, and it gets a little heavy sometimes, right? So I break it up and I say that I'm a vegetarian who eats fish when I feel like it, cheese once in a while, and last time I looked, this was a dead cow around my waist.
Got it.
My point here is I call myself a Connectitarian,
right?
Because we've lost connection with where our food comes from. And if we can just connect back and just take and honor the cycle of food and pray and say prayers for the food as it flies through its food chain, then we can bless it into our being and welcome it in a sacred way. Today, to your point, I know this is a long story, but I'm getting back because it's perfect the work you're doing. It's really just about connecting kids at the right time from where food comes.
And it feels like it's such a different concept. But so for example, we spend $1.7 billion in school lunch food waste alone every year. Yet 23 million kids are going hungry, right? The math does not. But what we're finding is third graders do not know that carrots grow from the ground. They feel like you go to the grocery store, you get it, and you get back and you go in the car. So, and when they know that they're growing it themselves and they understand that cycle, they're more apt to not only make those healthier food choices. So now we're talking about obesity rates and how that impacts, right?
Insane,
And then they're more apt to say, well, then I won't throw that away. Or if I'm eating it on my school lunch, then I'm really minimizing that, and they understand that. This is more critical.
So true. A good example, just for me, you know, I tend to be pretty connected to that stuff because I've been around the planet a few times, around the sun a few times. But I moved to Tampa, Florida with my family about 3 years ago. So I was all excited. I used to live in the Virgin Islands. I was all excited to be back in the tropics type of temperature.
Florida,
So of course, I dug up and I planted a banana tree and a fig tree. And it is amazing because when I got those bananas, those were so special and sacred to me. There was zero waste. But how many times do we have bananas? You just buy a rack from the store, and next thing you know, they're black. And you throw them
Right,
out.
it is.
So I would have never let that happen because I was connected to it off my tree. And that's what you're talking about with the carrots, right?
It is. And so like a good example, you talk about connection. And so one of our programming is called Come and Eat It. And it's our trademark program. And what it is we combine what do you do with the food that you grow? So we literally take hundreds of kids across the city this year. So this year alone, we had over 800 kids participate in one day. And we had chefs come in and they taught them how to create a dish based off the Navajo Three Sisters. I don't know if you're familiar with Three Sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
But say to our listeners,
so
please.
the Three Sisters is basically the interrelationship between corn, squash, and beans. And it has been around for thousands of years. And what we're doing with Come and Eat It is teaching them not only the value of fresh food, but culturally that there is, we need to understand how food has been around for thousands of years and how it's not only been beneficial to the earth because we understand the whole consciousness of eating and things and all of that, but it's an opportunity for them to, I think, reclaim what I think we've lost, right? And it's all about that. And that's part of what we do is we connect them with sometimes food that they don't even know where it comes from or a culture that's brought it here first. So there's always a cultural component along with science, technology, engineering, and math and everything that we do.
And you don't stop with food though, right?
We don't. And so it's all about, we do leadership programming as well, which is kind of what you saw. Everything that we do, even from an elementary school level, has leadership and STEAM component. So it was just a continuity and how do we extend that thinking and thought process to middle and high school girls. And so this is what happens when you don't sleep. In the middle of the night, we came up with this program called Girls Save the World. Well, you know what? How do we equip and empower young women specifically? Because I did a talk earlier this, I think on Tuesday, where I said is the hidden, it's what I'm looking for climate change. So we're looking for all of these ways to move climate change forward. Is it women's education? Should we be educating women's education to actually put the right policy in climate action and climate change? To support it. And so, and what we're finding is the greatest ideas come from the minds of 14 to 17-year-olds.
It's incredible.
Incredible, right?
And hence the tears in the room.
And it is amazing. So Girls Save the World came about, and it is literally, it started off as a 6-week virtual leadership sessions for us, and they had an on-site prototype where they created a sustainable tiny house with an element of food waste to food access.
Yeah, we interviewed those,
and it could be anything.
Girls who won.
It could be anything. And in our first
we're in
year,
the finals. Did they win?
They did
What
win.
happened?
They did win. So
I'm sorry to the other ones, but I just know those girls. I don't know the other ones. I'm sorry.
I know they did win.
But I love those girls.
And we gave away close to $4,000 in cash prizes to all those and we just wanted to give them an opportunity to just say, hey, we want to reward you for your thoughtfulness.
Sure.
Because to us, Girls Save the World in all of our leadership program and even Independence Guard, it's all about conscious leadership and circular giving.
Okay, so here's sometimes someone like you does so much work, but then when you see the end result, it actually blossoms in a way you didn't imagine.
Yes.
And what I saw in that room was 4 young women who have found their purpose.
Yes.
And through that, their confidence. And there's no stopping any of those women that I interviewed. No stopping. There's no doubt, right? So all of the things that you do, the end result is that you have transformed lives, which now can come out and exponentially provide gifts and solutions with their genius. The scientists, who are the girls, and the rest. So to me, it's really about you're feeding and nurturing people's purpose in the world, which our school systems do not do. They barely even talk about.
No. And it's because we're very results driven when it comes to testing specifically.
Yeah.
And I think we've lost that ability to not only equip and empower them to not only think for themselves, but amplify their voices, whether or not they feel like it's right or wrong. I think we put them in such a box sometimes that we don't give them the flexibility and the independence to not only think for themselves, but some of their thought process and their solutions, we as adults may think, well, we can't possibly do that. But all of the greatest innovators have to start from somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
We have to start from
Yeah.
somewhere. It's an idea that's never been done
It's the
before.
first sign that it's a good idea when people say it's crazy.
Okay, I'll remember that. I'll remember that when somebody tells me you can't possibly do that. I'm like, of course we can.
I would imagine you've broken. Well, I've seen you broken through that a few times. So let's finish up with this. Tell people, like, okay, so I have a 14-year-old daughter.
Okay.
I have older daughters as well, but I have a 14-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Her name is Sage.
Okay.
So if you're talking to Sage right now, we're in Tampa.
Okay.
But if you're talking to Sage right now, tell her, can she get involved, or at least inspired? What can she do? How can she, it's such a perfect age.
Yes.
Right.
So Sage, we will be releasing Girls Save the World 2026 in roughly a month here. And that is a sign.
Nice.
I know.
This isn't a setup, by the way.
It is not a setup.
No.
So there is so many different components happening to it. You get basically, you'll get a full semester, 2 semesters of leadership sessions from Independence Gardens. You'll get a chance to do STEM and STEAM activities. You'll get global mentorship. And then if everything, if the world aligns and purpose and consciousness aligns, then we have such an amazing event happening at EarthX 2026 that you're going to be part of. And now you're going to be part of not only the second year of Girls Save the World, but you're going to be part of the second class of Changemakers that's going to continue our work moving forward.
Maybe we'll vision this. So we'll fast track. We'll actually edit it in a year from now. We'll have Sage
right here. That would be fantastic. Yes, that would be fantastic.
Really, absolutely tremendous work you do in the world.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.